since I was a little girl. I remember sitting in Sunday school and just feeling like my faith was this little box stored inside, this treasure that I just couldn't wait to share with others.
Missions has been something that's been a part of my life from a very young age. As a child, my mom was very passionate about missions, and in our Sunday school, she would often share stories about missionaries all around the world.
When I was 15, I went on my first short-term mission team down to Mexico, and really felt like God was showing me that perhaps that's what I was created for, was to serve cross-culturally.
In 2005, I spent a semester abroad in Tanzania and Africa, and my desire for missions and exposure to God's kingdom around the world really grew during that time.
By the end of 2006, we were married and really felt like we had a desire to have an adventure. So we moved out to Big Sky, Montana, and worked at a ranch called Lone Mountain Ranch, and we co-directed an outdoor youth adventure program.
The one downside about that job was the fact that it wasn't a Christian organization. And that was difficult for us, being that what we really value in outdoor adventure is the spiritual parallels and depth that you can experience and go through when having those experiences. Not being able to take those experiences and bring them to a spiritual level was very difficult for us. And we knew that God had created us for more. So when we left the ranch, our intention was to figure out where God was calling us. So over the course of the last 3 years, we've been connecting with people in Bible studies and with mentors, and have really felt that God has spoken to us, and we've been able to figure out what our passions are and what our skills are, and where we feel God leading us.
So about a year ago, we started to realize that a lot of those questions were being answered. We realized that we were being called to full-time ministry together as a couple, and specifically outdoor adventure ministry is what we felt really passionate about. And so we decided it was time to get some feelers out there. And so we worked together to write up basically what we like to call a cover letter. We sent a few of those letters out and heard back from a few different places, and started to pursue open doors, but nothing really quite stood out until we heard from Paul, who's the director down in El Refugio in Ecuador. And he contacted us to let us know that he and his wife were going to be in Allentown, Pennsylvania on furlough this last February, and that it would be great to get together for coffee. When we did that, that conversation really stood in stark contrast to everything else that we had been looking into. And just in terms of their vision for the ministry, their approach to outdoor adventure, and really their vision for the future was very exciting for us. Jim and I will be joining a ministry down in Quito, Ecuador called Hacienda El Refugio, and it's part of a ministry called Youth World International.
Specifically, we're going to be working at an outdoor retreat center which is owned by Youth World, where we'll be able to take people through challenging activities and pair that with spiritual processing. Also, they'll just be able to go out and spend time in God's creation and have reflective times of connection with the Lord.
The Retreat Center's philosophy or mission statement is to be a training and retreat center which facilitates a deeper relationship with Jesus Christ through nature and outdoor adventure.
The experiences that groups will go through while they're at El Refugio vary quite a bit. Whether the focus will be on backpacking, going up into the wilderness and camping, or being more at the site doing high and low ropes course, challenging activities, or simply just being with God and His creation. Being able to use our passion for the outdoors and our passion for connecting with people individually, as well as just sharing the gospel with individuals. Across the boards, everything is really what we feel God leading us to. There hasn't been any missionary or missionary couple in the past who have been able to spend specific time intentionally connecting with the people of Kalakali, the town where El Refugio was located.
And really their desire is to come alongside them and to do a community needs assessment. And in the midst of that, establish discipling relationships, live alongside one another, and be a part of each other's lives to be able to impact them for Christ.
It's an exciting time to be joining the ministry at El Refugio because they're really at a point of growth. They've been looking at themselves and seeing how they can respond to the growth that's coming, and part of what Suzy and I are doing will be helping equip them for that growth. They see that there's about 1,500 people currently coming through, and they expect that they can grow that to 4,500 per year without having to sacrifice the integrity and the quality with which they do their operation. God has been really faithful to us, so we're excited to be responding to the call that He's had on our lives, to go down to Ecuador and help a ministry that's already in existence, and also to be moving in a new direction, to connect with people and build relationships and show the love of Jesus Christ. As He's been faithful to us, we hope to be faithful to Him. We appreciate your prayers, and thank you so much for coming alongside us in that way.